Santosh, I think we'll get started.
Yeah, I think we can start. It's been some time. Yeah. So welcome everyone to another session of the Audit 360 webinars. Today we will be covering the scheduling. So when we talk about scheduling, you may think that it's so very simple. Why do we need a whole webinar to cover scheduling? So as we proceed, you will get to know. And our plan is not only to show you how to schedule. We're planning to show you all aspects with relation to the schedules, the schedule acceptance, what happens if an auditor doesn't accept a schedule, and during the execution, there are certain features of asking for an extension to the schedule. We will look into all of that as well. So yeah, over to you, Ramya. I'll
Thanks, Santosh. Welcome, everyone. Pleasure meeting you all, and thanks for making yourself free and joining the webinar. Like how Santosh explained, we have chosen the more topic as schedule, and we would be talking what all aspects we have in schedule. As what we observe is most of them just feel that schedule is just scheduling an audit and allow the auditor to execute, but many of them are not aware what are the corresponding workflows it has, what are the features it is already been available with Audit 360 is not been aware. So we felt, why don't we make a webinar as a topic and cover more all the aspects which is part of the schedule. So what is schedule? Schedule is similar like assigning an activity to any of the personnel. In our case, it would be scheduling an audit to a specified set of auditors or a specific auditor with to a auditee with the time range in which the audit has to be executed. So we in our system we have four different types of scheduling. So if though all the activity are been same, but there are different way you can do the schedules. The type of schedules we have is normal scheduling, multi-auditor schedule, self-schedule, and schedule upload. So let me take you through on first on the type of schedule, and then I would take you all through the further correspondent workflow which has been followed here. So I'll be going to Audit 360 login and demonstrate how different type of schedule can be done. Let me just log in to the system. I'm logging in to our demo server with the super admin access. The schedule module is actually available with both super admin and the reviewer role. And reviewer will be able to do schedule to the auditors who are working below him for whichever cluster or the auditee is being mapped to. So in the schedule module, we have audit schedule. So let me first show how a normal schedule can be done. So this is a landing screen where landing page of the audit schedule screen where all the schedules can be filtered out with multiple filter option we have, where you can filter with audit type or with location or with auditee, and you can check this. First, let me take you through the scheduling part. So I'm clicking on create new schedule. So this is normal schedule. So in a normal schedule, the first parameter which we always have to have when we have to do a schedule is the audit type. We choose the audit type for which we want to execute the audit. And you also choose the auditee. So the reason why we choose the auditee, which we have covered in the previous webinar, is in auditee masters, we can classify the type of auditee we have and what type of a checklist or a configure audit has to be applied for a respective auditee type will be mapped during the configuration. So basis the auditee type we have mapped during the audit type configuration will be listed in the screen. So I'm choosing the branch what we have. Then I can either choose the location, geographical detail, either by a country, state, or location. If you already know which location your auditor would need to be, you can directly type the location. So in my case, I am just clicking Maharashtra and the auditee for whom the audit has to be scheduled. So I'm scheduling for Evershine Nagar. Then we have audit review period and audit review period 2. So this option, this date selection is very optional. Here you can choose if, for example, you're executing the audit in the month of October, but you are reviewing the data of for the previous quarter, then you can choose the quarter series here. Or if you're doing the audit, you will be doing the audit for the September month. You can just give the month information here for whatever range or a range of date range you would be doing the audit. You can just set the review period here, and this is optional, it is not mandatory. Then we have start date and end date. So every audit schedule should have a start and end date so that the activities are well planned. So auditor can plan his the travel or this activity on his daily task can be planned accordingly. So audit schedule can be of single day. If it in case of single day, you can choose the same date range. You can even the end date. If there is a chances that there's a multi-day audit, so maybe you have a vast checklist which cannot be completed in a day. There would be 3 days activity which has to be done. Then the auditor can choose a whatever the end date he wants. In this case, I'm choosing as 30th as the end date. And you can choose which auditor you would want to give. I'm just giving my name here as auditor, and you click on save. So if you would see, and I have chosen for today's date. So when I choose a today's date and go, there's audit which has been scheduled will be listed in the listing screen, and the status will be not started as we have just scheduled the audit. If you would want to see the details of this schedule, you can just click on this tab and all the audit level details can be viewed here. So this is normal audit. Now let's see how we will do a multi-auditor schedule. So in the same screen, I'll show how a multi-auditor can be executed. So for multi-auditor, the main thing is we have to allocate a group or a sub-audit between the auditors so that the auditors can have a allocated work to be executed. And the system also is aware that when both the groups are being completed, then they can they submit the audits. So let me just pick an audit type which has multiple groups in this. I'm choosing again for, because I know the location, I'm choosing the same Maharashtra, and then Evershine Nagar. So I'm skipping a review period here just to show you that it's an optional, and I'm taking the date range of 29th to 1st of October. Now, if you see before a selection of auditor, there is an option called multiple auditor. When you choose this multiple auditor, and you can give a 2 different auditor names. I am choosing demo auditor 3 and again my name. So moment you choose more than one auditor, you would have the relevant sub-audits or a group listed here. Here in this particular audit type, we have sub-audits. So the sub-audits are listed here, and you can choose which auditor will work on which of the sub-audits. So I have 2 sub-audits. I will give general audit to demo auditor 3, and I'm giving an annexure audit to myself. So here we are covering, there are 2 auditors and we have 2 sub-audits. Like this, if you have multiple sub-audits, you can even allocate to a different auditors, and one auditor can have more than one sub-audits or group. Like for example, I'll just close this just to show you a demo. I can give both the sub-audits to him. So more than one sub-audits can be mapped, but auditor whoever you are chosen should have a sub-audit allocated. You cannot have any blank allocation. So in this case, because I have only 2 sub-audits, I'm allocating between 2 auditors and I'm saving the schedule. So just to show you the schedule, I'm choosing the right audit type, and I had given the start date as 29 just to help to give a right filter. I'm giving the start date. If you see, the schedule has been created and both the auditor names are reflecting. Demo auditor and Ramya both are reflecting here, and this is a multi-auditor scenario. So I have shown you how individual audits can be done and also a multi-auditor, and then we also have self-schedule. So let me just take you to self-schedule. So self-schedule is the module or the feature which is available for auditors where they can create their own schedule themselves. They need not be dependent on their reviewer or the super admin to do a schedule, build a schedule for them and plan their activity. They can create their own schedule themselves. So if this is an auditor login, if you see in the auditor login, there is a tab called create schedule. This is nothing but a self schedule. Let me show you how the self schedule would work. The self schedule screen would be more or less similar to our schedule screen. The only difference what we would have is the auditor selection would not be there. Because it's a self, an auditor would be doing this audit, the auditor selection will not be applicable here. So let me just take up some audits here. ACG audit, I'm taking a vendor. I've chosen an auditor. I can even choose the review period I would like to take. Let me take for till August 31st, July and August is the period I have taken as a review period, and I'm scheduling for a single day audit. So my schedule has been created successfully, and if you see, I have a ACG audit scheduled for today. And if you see the review period also, it is 1st July to 31st August is the period which I had selected under the review period, and those information are being opted here. So this is self schedule. Now we have something called schedule upload. When do we do schedule upload? See, whatever the schedule we have seen now is mainly for individual audits to be executed. For every one auditor or a multi-auditor at one activity level or a schedule level, I'll be execute. What if I have to do a complete a week planning or a month planning? So I have an auditor who will be doing a daily audits, and I would have to do 1 month prior planning to him and do one scheduling to him. So I cannot keep doing the scheduling on the daily basis. So in this case, we have an option where when schedule can be uploaded with as a bulk, and those schedules will be reflecting for auditor. So let us see how schedule upload would work. So I'll just come to the super admin role. So under schedule module, you have something called schedule documents. So when you click on schedule documents, this is a place where you can do a schedule upload. I have already made a template for this demonstration. So let me just take you through this. The schedule upload format is very simple. It only has very few columns in it and only 8 columns. So this will be a CSV upload into our system. So first column would be of audit type name, and then would be an auditee name. So whichever auditee you would want to do a allocation, you would be updating their name here. Then the auditee type, the respective auditee should be applied. Start and end date, there is a date and format which is has to be given, and there is a validation which runs on this upload, and basis the validation the schedule will be uploaded. So the format in which the date has to be uploaded is, it is DD, MM and YY is the format which we upload. And if you have any review period, you can update them or it can be blank. In the auditor assignment, you have to give their email ID, which is their credential login ID, which basis that you can upload the schedule. So I have made this file. I'll just show how the schedule can be uploaded. I'll just save this. I'm choosing this file. You make your schedule completely planned for a month or whichever period you would want to do, and just select that file and click on upload schedule document. So whenever you upload a document, system would read all that information, validate if there is a valid or configure audit type available, or does it have a valid auditor available and the date formats are correct, all that will be. And if your file has incorrect data, it would show document uploaded with errors, or it will be shown as document uploaded successfully. So let me see what errors we have got. Schedule, schedule template. This was a file which we uploaded, and if you see the status, it shows as scheduled error report. When you have an error, you can download that report and check what was the error which has been arised. If you see, it shows that auditee name is invalid, and it also gives you a complete error that it should be greater than the start date and end date. So there was a date problem in which we have uploaded it. So you can make the correction of this file. So let us make the, you can make the correction and re-upload the same schedule. So if you see, the end dates were incorrect. So I'm making only date correction for now, and I'm re-uploading so that I can create some schedules here. Choosing this file. It would take some time again just to validate if the data is incorrect. And it will, you see there are some more errors, but you can, if you come to the schedule screen, whatever audits which were successfully updated can be seen here. CG audit from starting from 28th till there's one audit which has been scheduled. So all the schedules will be listed here in the module. So this is on the type of schedule. Santosh, is there any queries which needs to be addressed before I move forward with the workflow?
As of now, yeah, there is one question that has come now. So there is an annexure related query. How do we upload annexure? Especially when there is a customer visit.
Annexure we had discussed and shown this demo in our previous webinar. I will just to answer the query, we will just take you through this. In the annexure tab, you have annexure module, you have something called annexure documents. So you need to upload the respective reference data in the annexure document for the audit types, whichever you have created. For more clarity and things, you can refer the last week webinar recording, or you can get in touch, or you can even review in the Amaya for more information on this.
Yeah, there is no other question, Ramya.
Okay, so I'll just show you where you can look for the schedule template, and there are even a ready references available. In system setting, we have a section called template. If you see, there is all the templates are here. If you want a schedule template, you can download the template from this page, and you can even refer the README document. This README document would give you the information about what are the mandatory fields, and all have to be there on all the scheduled all the templates which we have. And just show you the schedule template part. The schedule upload, they have given all the header explaining whether it is a mandatory or not, whether it should be an unique, what is the data which is being allowed, and also the examples also have been shared here. So this will give you a clear information on how accurate you can upload the data, and you can even get less errors being generated, and your rejections can be reduced. So this reference README document, you can go through it and it will help you in whenever you're doing a schedule upload. So this is on the type of schedules we have. Now let's look at what are the associated workflows we have in schedule. So usually when we talk about schedule, it is just scheduling it and asking the auditor to start. But in schedule, there are many things which can be done. So now when we have, for example, we have uploaded a document of schedule which has some incorrect schedule. The validation runs is to see whether the data has been updated as per the validation set, which is here on the data side or the font or on the formatting side. But what if you have given an incorrect schedule itself in the right document and uploaded it? So in such case, when you have a bulk upload done, you cannot keep deleting one after the other. So there is an option for a schedule where you can delete the schedules, especially when you have uploaded the bulk schedule in this format. So if you come to schedule document, so if you see here, there will be an action button called delete. So whenever you have uploaded a document which has an incorrect schedule and the schedule has been created incorrectly, you can click on this delete button. This delete button will remove all the schedules which has been got created using this template which has been uploaded. Kindly note, this will only remove the schedules which has been created, which are part of the file which we have uploaded into the system, and you will not be able to remove other schedules which you have done apart from the file which you are referring to. So when you click on delete, all the file which has been, all the schedule which has been created gets removed. And once the action is done, this option would get disappeared. So this is helpful if you have by mistake, if you have uploaded and you would want to clear all the thing. There is other way of removing a schedule where you can delete it. So let me just go to the schedule screen. So in schedule screen, you have created a manual schedule. Let me just take a not started status. So I can take anything which has been, let me just, when you click here, if you see, there is an option called delete. So this delete option will appear only for those schedules which are in not started status. And if you do not want this schedule to be available, you can click on delete. So let me just show you for another status, anything which has been started or in progress. I click on go. If you see it is in progress mode, I click here. The schedule will not have a delete option available. So this delete, any schedule you created can be deleted only when it is not been started. Even in your CSV upload, when you have done a bulk schedule upload, when you click on the delete option, the schedules will get deleted only which have not been started by an auditor. If in case an auditor has started any audit, those schedules will not be removed from system. So this is on the delete and removing a schedule, how it can be done. So removing is from the schedule thing and delete. Now let us see how you can edit this schedule as well. So now even the edit is available for the audit which are not started. So in this case, let me just pick any not started one. So I have taken the schedule which was created recently. Now I want to just change this to a different auditee. I will be able to change this to different auditee if there is within the same Maharashtra, or if you would want to change the date here, instead of 30th, you would want to keep it to some other range, or you would want to change the review period, even that would be possible. So you can just keep it from 2nd of July I'm keeping till the September 2nd. So whatever change you would want to make here, you can, the review period can be changed, the schedule start or end date can be changed. And if you would want, if you have multiple auditors in the same vicinity, or you can even change the allocation here and you can click on update. So edit is possible before an audit is been started. Once the audit is being started, the edit will not be allowed for any of the schedule. So this is on the schedule where you can edit or delete a schedule. Now let us understand what is accept, reject and reassign. So auditors mainly would see that whenever there is an audit schedule, there is multiple option given against the every schedule being scheduled to them. So this workflow would be more helpful when it is with the field auditors, or when you are doing a when you're doing a bulk audit schedule planning with the auditors. This would be more helpful to all. So let us see how the accept, reject and reassign would work. So let me come to auditor login. Santosh, before that, are there any queries you would want to take up in between?
Yeah, there are. Just a moment. So one question is, is something that you answered. You mentioned about that just before, just a minute back. It is about the editing of the schedule. So editing of schedule is possible only until the audit has started.
Yes.
And then another question is, there is an auditor who's mapped to an auditee, but he is not able to see the auditee in the specific screen, in the schedule screen. So my observation, or what I feel is that the auditor may not be using the right search string. That is why he is not able to identify, or there should be a mapping related problem. So if the auditor is using the right search string, then please get in touch with the support team to identify the exact problem out there.
Yeah, that's it, Santosh.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. So now I'm on auditor screen. I had done few schedules where I showed you the type of schedule. Using the same schedule, let me show you the workflows associated with that. The first workflow we have is accept. Accept is very simple. Whenever there has been a schedule which is being done to an auditor, auditor is okay with the schedule what is being given to him, and he accepts and he can start the audit. Once he accepts, he'll be able to start the audit. Now imagine that if he is got a monthly schedule or a weekly schedule, but for a day he is on leave and he will not be able to take up any activity, or maybe he has some other work been allocated, so he may not be able to take up the activity or the schedule which has been given to him. In that case, he will be able to reject the schedule with a proper reason to his reviewer, where they can review and sign off whether they're okay with the rejection or not. So let us just see how a rejection works. Though I'm on 20th today, so I have some other activity. So I would want to inform my line manager that I will not be able to take up the schedule, and whatever edit you do can be done for all the upcoming audits. It's not mandatory that it has to be done on the same day of the audit. It would, if it would prefer to do it in the, for even for upcoming audit, if you already have a clarity, so that the reviewer or the super admin can plan for further activity here. So let us see how we can reject the schedule. I click on the reject. You have to give a reason why you are rejecting this. Payment allocated. Okay. I just give a reason and I submit here. So moment I click on submit, my schedule which was there on the screen which I rejected has gets disappeared and it will be sent to my to the admin for approval. So let me log in to approve admin to show how the approval workflow works here. So in the schedule screen, we have something called reject schedule. When I click on the reject schedule, this ANZ audit which had been rejected. So I'm playing a role of a super admin. Whatever the rejection was done by the auditor would be reflected to the super admin or the reviewer, where they can view the reason for which there is a rejection and they can either accept or reject. If they accept, the audit gets cancelled and the auditor can continue with this. But if they are not okay with the reason what is being given and they want the auditor to continue doing it, they can even reject the approval which has been sent to him. So when you moment you click on reject, it will give a pop-up. Would you want to reject the request? You tell okay. Now if you come and see in the this is being moved out of this queue, and when I come to the sorry, I'm coming to auditor. I think my screen got stopped, so let me just share the screen. Yeah. So I've come back to the auditor. If you see in the auditor, the whatever the schedule which was rejected by the supervisor would be sent back to the auditor again. So it will come back to his queue for execution. Now we have something called, this is on the rejection. So now let us see how a reassign would work. What is reassign? So in case where an auditor has been assigned to a task, but he feels that he will not be able to do this activity, but he is sure that there is one more auditor who will be able to take up this activity. In that case, he clicks on reassign and he will give a reason that allocating this to another auditor, or whatever is the reason why he is giving the allocation. If whatever all the auditors within the same cluster would be listed, and you can allocate the audits here. And you click on submit. The moment you click on submit, audit gets reassigned and it goes to the admin for approval. Now let us see how this can be managed. So I come to schedule. I'll come to the approve schedules. Sorry, not this. The reassign schedule. So this was an auditor or schedule which was being reassigned. So Ramya had been reassigned to demo auditor 3, requested auditor, and the reason why they're accepting, reason why they are doing the reassignment is also been mentioned. So a supervisor or the admin can review this reason and accept or reject this issue. So this also has the both acceptance or rejection. You can click on reject. And once it has been rejected, it would be going back to the auditor, or even if it is accepted, the respective auditor for whom it has been reassigned will be allocated. So let me just accept once and show you how what it would happen. So I'm just giving a reassignment again and choosing it to demo auditor 3 and submitting it. I'm coming to admin. So now I'm reassigning. This time I'm accepting the reassignment approval received. So I've allocated reassignment is the reason which I gave, and I've allocated to demo auditor 3. I clicked as demo auditor 3. If you see here, I'll come to the schedule to check what has happened to the status. If you see, the audit has been scheduled to demo auditor 3, which was on today's schedule, which has been allocated. To the moment you accept, it would be assigned to the reassigned auditor. If it is rejected, it will go back to the auditor again. Now let us come back to auditor role. Now we have seen accept, reject, and reassignment. There is something called edit schedule. Edit schedule is there in only in web execution. And there is one more option of prepone. So you would be seeing there is one schedule which does not have any of the workflows seen. This is because the self schedule, what we do, if when we have a create schedule, using a create schedule, when we do a self schedule, the workflow options would not be coming for auditor because it is with his will and wish. He would be creating the schedule and where he's accepting that yes, he would do this activity. Hence, the workflow related options are not shown for the self schedule. So if you see the ACG audit which we created in the self schedule does not have any workflows which has been shown. So let me just show you once again. Let me take an ANZ audit. I'm taking Jayanagar. Let me take today's date itself. If you see, I have created an ANZ audit schedule, self schedule I have done, and that doesn't have any of the workflows here. So the workflows will be applicable only for the schedules which is been scheduled by the reviewer or the super admin. Only in those cases, this workflow would build. And another thing is if whenever there is a multi-auditor scenario, none of these options will be applicable. They will not be able to edit this information because it has a multi-auditor and it will have a conflict when there are one or more auditors are available. So this workflow would be applicable for single auditor, and we are bringing in more change in multi-auditor concept as the used case, and you thought more will be expected in upcoming features which would be covered in this aspect. Now, let me show you how we can accept the audit. So accept. It is a very straightforward. One moment you click on accept, it will allow you to start the audit. And whenever you want to start the audit, you click on not started and it will be taking you inside to execute the last future date execution. It is not allowed. But if it is a current date, if you've seen this 28th date, when you click on not started, it will take you to the execution mode. So this is on the accept, reject, and reassign. Now there is one more option called prepone audit, and I believe most of you would not have seen this prepone audit on the screen. Some would have been seen and some would have not been seen this prepone audit. Any audit schedule would have only the accept, reject, and reassign part. So prepone, the reason why you would all not be seeing this prepone audit is because this is a configurable item and it needs to be enabled for auditor to prepone this option. So let me show you how this prepone audit can be enabled. Now in my schedule, if you see there was a prepone option available. So that is because we have enabled prepone option. So if you come to super admin, only super admin has this access to enable the prepone audit. Reason why we have kept this at a configurable mode is because prepone as an option should be given only if it has a valid reason and it needs to be preponed. And if it is the super admin call to give this access to any auditors And once it has been enabled, it will be across for the auditors. So under system setting, we have something called configure execution count. When you come inside this, there is an option called prepone audit. So prepone audit is the audit where you, if it is clicked it as yes, it will give you an option of prepone. If not, it will give, it will, if you choose this as no, the prepone option will not be available for the auditor. Now, in this case, I've given prepone audit as no. Earlier you were seeing in the schedule the prepone option. Now let me schedule one audit and show you if the prepone option appears or not. So I'm again executing one audit. Sorry, I'm scheduling one audit. Just quickly schedule it. Let me take for this is 30th schedule. And I'm creating a schedule here. So let me come to auditor role. If you see, there is in Z audit which I schedule which I have created, which is for 30th September, and this does not have a prepone option. Let me enable prepone option now to show how the prepone works actually. I'll come to system setting, then configure audit. I enable this as yes, I'll give and save this. Now let me come to auditor. If you see, prepone audit has been enabled. So what would happen in the prepone audit? So prepone audit will not have any acceptance workflow or the approval workflow bit, but you will allow the auditor to prepone the activity to a prior date so that he can execute the audit much before. So if you see, the audit what we scheduled was for 30th September. This is the start date and end date. I can only change the start date. I'll not be able to change the end date because I'm preponing the activity, not extending the activity. So I click on start date. I'll choose as 28th. And basis the number of days of execution I have given, end date would get changed automatically. Then I click on submit. So I have preponed the activity here. So it has been for 28th. Now I can accept and start the audit here. So let me start the ANZ audit. Jayanagar 40 block. So now I have started one audit. I'll go back. I have parallelly, I will even start one more audit. I'm also now trying to parallelly start another audit. So there are only two in progress audit. So this you can execute basis your requirement and execute the audits as per the checklist been allocated to them. So this is on the audit which we have now covered, the prepone audit as well. Now there are one thing what we have majorly observed is we have made a schedule where I'll tell okay it's 1 day audit, or I would say it is a 3-day days or 2 days of audit. But once the auditor starts the audit, then he realizes that he'll not be able to complete the audit within the time period given to him. So you may have to extend it. So auditor will not be able to extend. He can reach out to his supervisor where they can extend the audit. So if he wants to extend the audit, let me show how a supervisor or a super admin can extend the audit. The extension of audit is possible for in progress audits only. Once it moves to lapsed in progress, lapse not started, then this option will not be available. So let me come to audit schedule. So I have audits which has been started for today. Let me just take today's audit schedule. So I have ANZ, which is in ACG audit, which I had started. If you see there, you will not have any option for editing any other information. Only end date can be edited here. So I'll just change this end date. And I'll update this. So my audit schedule has been extended. If you just see ANZ with today's date, which we were looking out. Audit date has been extended. So audit user can extend wherever you are not, even when your audit is not started, you can change the schedule as per the requirement you have. So this is on the audit schedule. I would like to cover one more point which I have not listed in the PPT. So if you see that you would have something called the execution status as lapsed not started and lapsed in progress. So let me explain what are those statuses actually. So any audits which are being scheduled and which is not been started at all and the end date has been cleared, in those cases there will be an status tagged as lapsed not started, and audits which are started but you would not complete it within the stimulated period and you have not extended the end date, the end date has been crossed, it would be tagged as lapsed in progress. Any audit which is in lapsed not started or lapsed in progress will not have any option for edit or extension. No option would be allocated. Even if you see in lapsed in progress, there will be no edit or update option being available here. So what we have to ensure is auditor has to proactively inform if there is an extension. He has to proactively inform his supervisor or the admin to extend or finish the audit with the end date what has been assigned to him. So this is on the schedule module. If there are any queries, you can let us know. Santosh, is there any queries which has come up which we need to take up?
No questions. Let me see. No, there are no questions.
So we have covered the type of schedule and the workflows associated with it. If you have any queries, you can check with us.
There is one more question. There is again on annexure. So, I think this was answered in a little while back about adding annexure to the audit report. So if it is about adding the annexure, it was covered in the last session. You may refer that. Or if it is about adding an Excel attachment to the audit report, then as long as you're executing the audit from the web app, then you can attach maybe a work paper that you have been using in an Excel format so that you can attach to the audit from your web login. Yeah, I mean, there are no more questions.
Okay, I think this. We'll just give a couple of minutes to see, and I think we can.
Yeah, after that, I think we can wind up if there are no questions.
So we request you all to please share your feedback so that we can improve more. And if there are any modules to be covered, you can let us know.
So there is a question on there's a question on providing feedback on the webinar. So how do you provide the feedback on webinar? It is by responding to the mail. There is a mail that comes. It is sent to all admins. So there are mails that are sent. You can respond to those mails with your feedback to the webinar sessions. Then there is another question. How many reassign acceptance are allowed? There is only one. You can reassign only once. So I am an auditor. An audit has been scheduled on me. I am not able to do the audit. I can reassign it to another person. So it can be accepted or rejected. If it is rejected, I have to continue with the audit. If it is accepted, then the audit moves on to the next person. That's it. Yeah, that's all. I think we don't have any more questions. I think, Ramya, we can conclude. So thank you, everybody. I hope it was an informative session. Scheduling has been there in our mind for some time now, but since there were other priorities suggested by some of you during your feedbacks, we had taken those up and scheduling had to come now in the list of priorities. If you have any questions, please do feel free to write to us. In fact, you can make use of Amaya, the bot that is there in the application. Answers to all of these questions, even those which were asked today on the call, are available in Amaya. If you are not able to find out answers, you may please reach out to us through the support channels. So thanks a lot, everybody. Really appreciate you taking out time and joining these webinars. As I keep saying, please do share your feedbacks so that we can work on improving the content as well as any other aspect that you may want us to improve. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. Let's meet in the next session.
Yeah, let's meet next week. Bye-bye. Have a nice day ahead.